Hello, and here we go with video number 2. Talking about nose cones this time, and got a number of ideas. What you do for your nose cone is completely up to you. Usually, when we're in class, we try to 3D print them, but unless you have a 3D printer in your pocket or your garage, kind of hard to do that. So if you have access to a 3D printer and you want to give it a try, go for it. But most of us don't have access to that. So I'm going to give you a few different ideas. My personal favorite is to just take and recycle the top of a 2 liter bottle. So what I did was I cut it off, and then just kind of like the way that we cut the tabs around the edges of our motor mount, I cut tabs all the way around the edge of this. And essentially, you just kind of put those tabs around this is where my helper comes in. Put those tabs around the outside edge of the body tube and just kind of slide it on over. Remember the nose cone, you want it to be something that you can kind of take on and off fairly easily, or you have to come up with a different way to put your egg inside your rocket on launch day. So my plan is I'm going to put a platform partway down my body tube. I'm going to put my stuffing in there, which is going to be really easy to do, like at the last minute, put my egg in there, finish stuffing it, and then my nose cone is going to slide down around the top, and then I'm just going to put a quick wrap of duct tape or gum tape or something around the top so that then I can easily take it off and check out my egg at the very end as well. Now, doing that, notice that this nose cone is hollow, so I will need to make some sort of platform or something there, or I need to have the intention of filling that with the packing material as well. Otherwise, in flight, when the two stages come apart, the top stage is going to be hanging down, and I don't want my egg falling out and then ending up, jiggling around inside my nose cone. So that's one option. There's lots of different bottles and things that you can recycle and find the lids for. It does not have to be perfectly conical in shape. Lots of things, can be kind of rounded in shape if you want to do that. So obviously, Ms. Thompson prefers the kind of nose cone where you recycle something and reuse it. But another option is to take something like the cardboard, or in this case, a paper plate. We cut out around the edge and then sliced it towards the middle. And then all you do is you just kind of keep overlapping it until you have the right dimension. And then you can throw some glue in there or some tape. So tape it or glue it, and that'll hold it together. Now, the drawback of this one versus my nice fancy recycled pop bottle is you have to have a way of actually adhering this. So coming up with some little tabs along the edge, or adding some tabs or something so that you have something to adhere actually to the body tube would be necessary for this one. So there's another version. Now you can also make nose cones out of your gum tape as well. So what we have here on the countertop is we have a little cone that we constructed out of Play-Doh. Just my niece's Barbie princess Play-Doh dress kit thing. And we covered it with some press and seal just because, like the inside of the body tubes, you don't want it to actually stick to it. You want to be able to remove it. And then we took leftover gum tape and we just cut it into these little strips. And just like with the regular gum tape, wet down the back using a sponge. And in this case, you'll just kind of layer upon layer upon layer, kind of like you were making a piñata, and just kind of like wrap it around the mold until you have the shape that you want. You probably are going to want to do at least 2 layers, just like we did with the body tube, so that you have a nice sturdy nose cone. Um, but go with whatever works best for you. Again, this can be trimmed just like we did the body tube, and it's pretty easy to work with. And so you just kind of keep like you're doing, what's that called?
Paper mache.
Paper mache. So just like you're kind of doing paper mache, just keep kind of wrapping the gum tape around. And it works best if you cut them into thin strips, because otherwise they're harder to shape into the cone shape. But see how, if we kept going, you can see how this eventually would make a nice cone. If you're choosing to do that, just like with the body tube, you want it to dry for at least 24 hours in between layers, and then you want to give it a nice good dose of water, and let it dry for another 24 hours, just to make sure that you don't have any little edges peeling up and stuff like that. So there you go, a number of different ideas for your nose cone. So your next job is to figure out what you want to do for your nose cone and get that constructed, because you're going to need the measurements of that for the next step that we're going to do, which is going to be to decide exactly how long your body tubes have to be cut to. So go ahead and make your nose cone, and when that's done, then you'll be ready for the next video. And once again, thank you to Miss Kayla for helping us out. And I didn't sleep in these clothes. This is still the same day. So multiple videos in one day here. So just so you know.